Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is Wednesday, February 11th, and we do have a jobs report. It's a delayed January jobs report, as a matter of fact. So we'll see what's going on with that. And the report will give markets a lot to consider as investors digest fresh data and a batch of revisions, according to Luis Rodriguez. So there you go. And economists expect that January's non-farm payrolls report should show growth that was nil or not much better during the month, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics also will report its final benchmark revisions for payrolls going back 12 months from March 2025. That could erase most of the gains for the period. So interesting right there, Luis Rodriguez. Let's see what's going on this morning in the market. So here we go. And I didn't even turn that light on, did I? Hold on. Let me do this. There you go. How about that? Little green back there. Anyway, let me go ahead and flip over to the heat map. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. There you go. That's the heat map. It's a little bit flat this morning, waiting for this jobs report. That's why I was talking about it, because I think everything's just kind of hanging out. You can see your SPY. It's up a little bit right there. I kind of thought they'd be red, but it doesn't even look good. And it does look like it's trying to roll off, going down at the moment. We'll be keeping an eye on it. And I've been talking about this in the same situation for your Qs right here. And we could still curl up and hit right here at 616 and then dip down on your Qs. They don't have the same setup as your SPY at the moment. And IWM right there is up a little bit this morning, and it's just kind of hanging out, hitting the MACD, and that doesn't look like it wants to cross unless the market starts popping after these reports, guys. But at the moment, they don't look like they want to, but things can change around relatively quick in this market. It's been very volatile and crazy, that's for sure. Big swings each way all the time. And let's see, RENX right there. RenX Enterprises was running up. We were not looking at that. There's MNTN. That's a software company. I thought that was what's the Val one? MTN. Oh, okay. Only 3 letters there for Val Resorts. This one's probably doing all right now. They had some good snow. But look, it's still in a bearish channel right there. Remember, we used to look at this one, MTN, good old Val Resorts. And ELAB, we know that was running up on its earnings. And BNRG right there, Bren Miller Energy running up. And STIM, Neuronetics or something like that, that had gapped up there. And there's Beta right there. Beta Technologies at 2040 up $3.63. And there's a few that ran this morning. Let's go ahead and see what else is going on. Stocks gain, dollar dips ahead of the jobs data that we were just talking about. And the Super Bowl of jobs reports is on deck. So that's what we're all getting excited for. Big Super Bowl tailgate party right there today for our jobs report, I guess. So the sell-off in AI losers has been so steep that this famed activist investor has reportedly sprung into action, and the dollar under pressure, yen and Aussie resurgent. And the jobs report today, the Dow futures inch up and the dollar weakens, guys. So there you go. That's our news stories. Let's go ahead and see what the market looks like here. And crypto still pulling back, as I was talking about. Bitcoin back to 66K. Remember, I was saying this, so it's not that we should be surprised. We should have been shorting it down. If anything, I was definitely saying it was going down, and it is dipping down right there. Here's your Ethereum right here. It's pulling back some more. You could see it the other day setting up to come. It looked good for a day, and then immediately I could tell that it was coming back down, almost like the rest of the market, but I can't guarantee that. This, you could tell, was coming back down. I thought this was leveling down right here. There's Solana right there, but here you go. You can see it coming back down for Bitcoin. And maybe, like I said, it will get set up here, but I did think we were going to see a little more of a dip right there. So it's a risky with all these reports coming out this morning, and you believe tomorrow is CPI, and I believe your Friday CPI, and tomorrow is another jobs report, I believe, Luis Rodriguez, but we'll check real quick. Tomorrow, initial jobs list claims, and then CPI is Friday there, Luis Rodriguez. So that's the rest of the week's economic report. And then remember, it's only a short week next week. The market will be closed Monday for President's Day. So let's go through and see what's going on here, what we're getting into, what our best opportunities will be, of course. And coin earnings tomorrow after the market close. Yes, we're going to definitely be on top of coin tomorrow because with Robinhood pulling back like that and crypto dipping, I can't. And look at that. I mean, that was the run up for it to pull back even more and get back into the dungeon, I would say. So they do have earnings tomorrow for Coinbase. We'll definitely be looking at them. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. SPY, like I said, up a little bit. Your Q's up a little bit, but they don't look great. Let's put it that way. They could hit that resistance, come up a little bit, and pull back right there. And IWM is up a little bit, but nothing too crazy right there. So let's see what our Mag 7's doing here. Apple down a penny. That's pulling back. I think you pull back a little bit as it gets set up. And Amazon right here is up 56 cents. And it still has a curl up period right here. So again, this one could actually come down a little bit before it sets up. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And again, the market's going to kind of dictate what goes on with this jobs report, and then going into tomorrow, initial jobless claims, PPI on Friday. So we'll find out about inflation and all that good stuff. Google has been pulling back a little bit. It's trying to make it curl up, but it's not ready just yet. So we'll be watching that. And Meta right here is trying to bounce back up a little bit, and that's not exactly ready either. So I don't think the market's really ready completely. And there's Microsoft has been running up, little pullback, it looks like, and we'll have to see. Again, another one, I don't know if it'll get through the MACD. So you're curling up, getting close to them. But then I think we bounce off, and this is what I've been saying for the whole week. And since the last week, I wasn't so sure if these things were going to get rocking and rolling. The video looks all right there. We might want to keep an eye on the video. That actually could move. So let me jot in the video down right there and just keep an eye on that today. That could be a good one. Tesla wasn't looking too bad yesterday. It was hitting that 20, so you might get a little bounce down on Tesla, but it wasn't looking so bad. And AMC right there up a penny. GameStop is down a little bit. Unity right here is down pretty big after it just run up. And Chewy right there is also just hanging out. But yeah, that Unity is a nice dip right there. I mean, that was looking pretty good, and that's going in the earnings unless it had them today. It is today. I'm not sure if they had them or not, but looking like that, I would say they might have had their earnings this morning at 7 a.m. That's what it looks like to me for Unity, and it didn't do so well. I mean, that's just the look that it has right there. I'm not exactly sure. Netflix right here, up a little bit more cadence than everybody else. Janica, we were asking about that, and we were liking it. So there you are with Netflix. And let's see, AVGO right here, and let's see what that wants to do, AVGO, because that bad boy is just kind of hanging out right there today. It's in that channel. It doesn't look bad. It just has a little setup period. And MU right here is up this morning. I did see that. That's looking pretty strong. That could be another play for today there, Sam. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one. We'll get down to our QCOM in a second here. I think it was down a little bit. TSM is up a little bit this morning. Going to hit that resistance and pull back into that channel. And SMCI is looking pretty good, guys. Look at that 2050 meeting up right there. And that could get curling up. I do like that look, SMCI. So I think that could get moving relatively soon. And AMD right here is up a little bit. And that had, remember, that big pullback just crawling up, and it's trying to get up to the 50 right there. It should get up to the 50 right there. And here's QCOM. It's down just a little bit right there. It does not look bad, but I'll tell you what, it's staying in the basement for some reason. I thought it was going to inch itself out, and obviously we can see how the market runs today, and we'll see what it wants to do. It is curling up there. It doesn't look too bad to me still, and I'll stick with it. But there's your QCOM. Yeah. And even if it gets a little, I still didn't think it might not get through, but I thought it would just curl up a little more today is what it looked like. And obviously, again, the market conditions are going to play a factor in that. Snow right here just kind of hanging out after it was going up. And how about PayPal? Again, that's not looking too bad, guys. PayPal at the moment for a curl up. Of course, it could stay in the basement, but we're just looking for that quick curl up right there. And what about Intel right here trying to bounce back off that trend line? Maybe that pulls back a little bit more. Watch it into the 45 range right there. So we'll keep an eye on Intel, see if we get a better price action, and that will be a good one. There's your Dell right there. That's even down a little bit, but in a great spot, just a little flat, to be honest with you. So keep an eye on Dell. You know, we've been liking Dell. And let's see, IBM right here. Let me see. That is not looking bad right there, guys. I would say that's got a little set up, and it just doesn't look perfect today. Let's put it that way. But I do think these get set up right here. Palantir right here pulling back a little bit more. Sophie down a little bit as well right now. So the market is pulling back a little bit. Your Marin Riot, they're going to continue to pull back as Bitcoin pulls back some more. And here is your Clean Spark trying to get away from crypto and make it more of an AI data center Clean Spark, and it's a good idea. I said it before. MicroStrategy still down there at 130, and yeah, they're just struggling obviously because Bitcoin's struggling. Robinhood got smacked around yesterday, and probably will fall down some more today with Bitcoin coming down. It's at 67,158 right now. Ethereum's at 1959. Cardano's at 25 cents. Let me see what else. Chainlink's at 825. That was just like in the 13s and 14s. Solana 881 again, guys. So they're getting hammered. Ripple back at 137. So they're dipping back down, and we were talking about this happening. So it wasn't a big surprise. Coinbase is the one we were talking about. That's down this morning, and it looks like it's going to continue to dip down. And what about Bull right here? And so let's look at puts on coin right there, because that could be a good one. And Bull right here, just kind of hanging out. It was running up, hit that resistance now, hitting the MACD. You'll probably get a little bounce back off of it coming down, so it can set back up. I don't think any of them are really ready to go through. Well, a couple of them have, but they're more bigger ones, I think. And Space right here, Virgin Galactic, just kind of hanging out a little bit flat right there. How about Boeing right here, up a little bit? Boeing looks really good. Again, another situation where we'll have to see if it gets through. Boeing has a good chance of going through right there, guys. So that one could be a good one. And what about DJT down, just kind of flat, making a base, could be hanging out down there. Nike, not too bad right there. We were talking about it. Nike looks really good, I would say. So keep an eye on that. That looks good for some reason. When's the next SCOTUS thing? I'm not even sure. I have to look. February 20th or something, you said? I forget when the heck it was. But we have to keep an eye on that. I wrote it down somewhere. I forget what I did with it. McDonald's right here, up a little. McDonald's looks pretty good to try to continue into the top, so you can keep an eye on that. You know, if the market's red, it'll probably do it. And Disney debt back down a little bit, just bouncing down after yesterday. Oxy's up a little right there, and ExxonMobil right now is up, and these things just keep on running. This is crazy. These oil and gas plays, holy cow, look at that. That thing's continuing to run up there. And DXYZ right there is getting set up, that's for sure. And that is what our market looks like this morning. So a little bit of mix. NVIDIA's up, AVGO, Amazon, Meta's down a little bit. MU is up. That's the bright spot right there is MU. So that could be a good one right there, curling back up, trying to run up. All them dips have been good opportunities on the MU since, I guess, all year this year so far, these last 2 months. So, and Valentine's Day is definitely on Saturday, and then President's Day is on Monday. So, yeah, we have a double holiday weekend. I was saying that last night. That's why I said don't go to skiing this weekend. They may smack you with double the price for 2 holidays. It's so expensive to hit the mountains now. It's so crazy. And holidays are even more expensive there. So Central Florida gardening, I don't think you're doing any skiing this weekend down in Florida. But here you go with Zeta not looking bad right there to get set up. It is jumping back up off that trend line, got to the next one, and could easily get over that 200 right there at 11. What's that say? 1753, it looks like to me. And it gets in there, it's going to want to stay in this little channel right there. I'd say Zeta has a shot. The only thing is another one where it looks like it could be fading off of this MACD before it really pops. So just beware of that, Central Florida gardening. Maybe you get a little pop off. I'll have to look at it today. It doesn't look bad right there in the spot that it's at, but the candle doesn't look great this morning just at the moment. So, and obviously we have data coming out today. I'm not sure what time the data even comes out. I think they usually tell you around here. Let me see. Non-farm all at like 8:30. It looks like, and 10:15 is, yeah. It looks like 8:30. So we'll be finding out pretty soon. Like hour 15 minutes, we'll know. And then, like I said, tomorrow initial jobless claims is early in the morning, and then Friday is your CPI early in the morning. So all of them at 8:30 before the markets even open, so they can react to it, and we'll see what happens. And that's why you got a little flatness now, because you got some data coming out in an hour and 15 minutes, and everybody's just kind of waiting around to see what that data says. And speaking of data right here, how about that data dog? It was running yesterday, and it's up there, not looking too bad today. So you can keep an eye on that one right there. And let's just look at a few more and see what's going on with QMCO right here. That looks like it could continue up. The only problem is it doesn't look like it. I mean, it looks like it wants to get through the MACD. That's got an interesting look. I got to jot that one down. QMCO, definitely an interesting look. Looks better than the other quantum ones at the moment for whatever reason, like QBTS and all these guys. I'm not sure what's going on over at QMCO, but not looking too bad. Reddit wasn't too bad. It's down a little bit, nothing crazy. And that now, excuse me, that is Service Now looking pretty good right there. Who mentioned that? Janica last night? I forget. Or Caden? Somebody mentioned that bad boy. And this McDonald's right there, like I was saying, that looks like it could curl up in Nike. I was just talking about. And how about your Warner Brothers up right there? I think Warner Brothers is looking great, guys. That might be at the top of the list right there. Looking really good. How about Rocket right here, Zach? That's not looking bad on that curl up. Let's see. It could get through right there. Arm was strong, and that could just have a tiny pullback as it gets up. You can see the 20 and 50 trying to meet up there. And KVUE, we added this back because of the Tylenol maker's been in a bullish state right there. Dell. And we talked about Dell earlier. Unity dipping down. Lowe's right here, and Home Depot down a little bit this morning. They were running up. They still look like they could run up there. And what about that Wix right here? We were looking at that last night, and it is down right there, Wix. So we'll have to look at that one. Raya right here. Somebody mentioned that this morning. That's in the basement. And let's see. It is hitting the MACD. It's not bad. We'll have to look at that one today as it's moving around right there for good old Raya. And let's see, MU and all them, and PayPal setting up IMRX. That's another one. IMRX. There we go. That's just flat there this morning. Nothing too crazy. Galt right here. And there you go. Hopefully Joseph Levy's feeling better this morning. And Sezzle right here is down a little bit. So that's what our market looks like right there. SCOTUS reconvenes on February 20th, and don't vacation in California. They'll tax you into bankruptcy. You're not kidding. I read that story last night. The quarterback of the Seahawks, he ended up losing money after he won the Super Bowl. He got paid $176,000, somewhere around there for the game, and then California taxed him like $250,000 for being there for 7 days, and so he was down like $71K after winning the Super Bowl. And I think it was like Boomer Esiason or one of them shows. Me and Luis Rodriguez saw the same clip. He was saying, you can't have the Super Bowl in California anymore. I mean, that's like you can't do that. The quarterback isn't showing up. Like, why am I going to lose $71,000 and win the Super Bowl? Holy cow! I'm supposed to win that kind of money, not lose it. And yeah, how crazy is that story, guys? I mean, you want to talk about a effed up state right there? Just because you came in for 7 days and made some money, they make you owe more than you made. That's bizarre. I mean, wow, what are they doing with all this money? Where is it going? Because they seem to be in all kinds of financial problems. It seems like Gavin Newsom's a moron, huh? Doesn't seem like he's very financially bright over there, that's for sure. But what do I know? I mean, geez, holy cow! It's disgraceful what goes on in these states with these governors. I think they have a clue. I live in one of them, believe me, in New Jersey. And this chick, Mikey Sherrill, I think her name is. I don't even know what our governor's name is. It's like a dude's name, Mikey, and then she's got like a girl's last name. I don't even understand it. Mikey Sherrill or something's her name. And she's out there too. She's way left and woke and crazy and whacked out of her skull. They all are. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, we got to move out of this state too, Luis Rodriguez. I don't think we're going to have a choice much longer. I mean, our energy, guys, our electric bills are so much money. It's insane. I mean, it's absolutely bonkers. It's as much as the mortgage now. It's like paying two mortgages every month. It's freaking crazy. I don't even know what's going on. And if they think it's just because of data, how many data centers we have in New Jersey, Luis Rodriguez? Look that up because I can't imagine that they're eating up that much electricity in my small little town. But what the hell do I know? Let's see. AMPX right here. That's up a little bit this morning. Let's see what that can do. It looks like it wanted to dip down, but maybe it starts crawling up and gets ripping right there. Who knows? And what else we have? Lunar over here was looking, I was just going to look at all these space ones because I know ASTS that was up last night, and they did have some news last night. As a matter of fact, announces it has successfully completed the in-orbit unfolding of its Bluebird 6 satellites communications array, and it's described as the largest commercial communications antenna ever deployed in low Earth orbit. And so, yeah, crazy. California's fraud is 10 times what Minnesota's fraud. I would believe it there, Central Florida Gardening. I would not be surprised. People are just lining their pockets over there in California, just as they were in Minnesota. They do it in New Jersey, too, trust me. And, yeah, I definitely know all about that as well. So, not that I've done it. I've worked in government. I've watched them do it my whole life. I've told you about it, and I've told you the story about our local VFW. They stole like $80,000 in 7 months. It's crazy. I mean, it's wild what goes on, guys. And everyone walks around wondering why our taxes are so much. Everything costs a fortune, and these retards are stealing everything. Well, we must be the retards for letting it all happen and just sitting here. I mean, holy cow. Somalia made more money off of us than what their like deficit was in Somalia. Like they just took all of our money and just paid off their Somalian deficit. It was crazy. I mean, they made like billions, guys. I can't even collect disability. This is the great. I'm supposed to be disabled. I somehow can't even get this disability. And the neurologist is like, yeah, whatever forms you need me to sign, you're not going to work. I mean, I got hit in the head harder than anybody in the history of life. I mean, everybody knows the story of what happened. I shouldn't even be sitting here. And somehow I can't even get this about. I'm not even kidding. I've never collected a dime in over 2.5 years, guys. Somehow have still an issue trying to collect disability, which I'm should be entitled to. And I have no idea why. I have to call them again. I still don't understand the issue. I don't know if they don't explain it to me. If I'm retarded, I tell them, like, dude, I got a brain injury. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just send me the goddamn disability. What form do you need me to get filled out by the doctor? He said he'll fill out whatever you need. I'm not working. I just sit home and do a podcast, and basically because it's cognitive therapy, and it's how I've gotten better. Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, they could give out like billions of dollars. So just think about that, guys. I mean, I've worked my entire life. I somehow can't get disability. I'm entitled to it. I should be on it, but I'm not. And yeah, how crazy is that? So just think about that story. You got Somalians running around making like $1 billion. I can't get shit. I don't understand it. Someone please explain it. I don't know. But anyway, Gavin Newsom's a snake oil salesman. He is the worst right there. He's so terrible. And perfect, Luis Rodriguez. Thank you very much. And yeah, Joseph Levy was asking about the veterans program for Disney. And I know Luis Rodriguez knows all about it. So I was asking him anyway. California supports over 2,200 hospice organizations, roughly double that of Texas, the next highest state. That's crazy. Holy cow. Central Garden Fly. I mean, yeah, hospice it's definitely needed when somebody's on their way out, that's for sure. But I bet a lot of them are fraud. That's for damn sure. 2,200. I mean, you don't need that, man. I mean, Yeah, you only need so many because they're usually part of the hospitals, and they're usually like 10 different companies that you can choose from, if that. How the hell did they have 2,200 hospice organizations? That's freaking crazy. Does anyone look into this shit ever? No. You know who does? Nick, what the heck's his name? I wanted to say his name. Nick, what the heck is that dude's last name? Why I can't remember. See, this is why I can't have a job. Can you imagine me having a job? Like I said, I could sit here and do a show and just flow. I don't know what it is, but you guys can tell as soon as I have to think about something, it just doesn't work. And for whatever reason, my brain just doesn't connect. But if I just sit here and don't think about anything and just talk, and I could talk about the stock market, you guys know that. And I've never stopped since I got hit in the head. Nick Shirley, thank you very much, Central Florida Gardening. And yeah, I can't remember. I couldn't even remember his name. I just said it like a million times in the last probably month. I can't remember his name, Nick Shirley. But yeah, he's probably on it. I'm sure that dude's the best. He's great. And yeah, it's. I know he was in California recently. He was probably looking into them hospice organizations. He's on it. That dude. That dude's on it. He's good. So anyway, now he's got some money behind him too, and like security and all that. So he's good to go. And yeah, $250 million deficit in 2027. Look at the former Jersey City mayor and how he ruined the town's budget. They're $250 million deficit for 2026, guys. How do you do that? I mean, it's so crazy. It's like mind-boggling. It's like, here, I'm just going to come in and destroy everything, and then we'll see if somebody can figure it out when I leave, because I don't care. I won't be here. And yeah, it's a combination of mismanagement and fraud. I've told you guys, I grew up working in government for over 20 years, 2 decades. Over 2 decades, I was in that government shit. And just sat there and watched it all happen. And my dad was pretty high up for what he did. Like I said, he was a building inspector, so he was the only one that had every license. They couldn't get rid of him. I told you, when he retired, 4 departments had to get taken out because they couldn't get the funding anymore, because he was the only one that could had the license, and the state would, and the funding came from the state, and they couldn't get the funding without that license, and they didn't even offer the classes to take this to get the license for anybody. So they were kind of screwed. So he just like kind of cruised through, and they knew that, and he knew that. So they couldn't mess with my dad unless they all just didn't want to judge. If they fired him, they'd all fire him. So it was kind of a crazy situation. Like, could you imagine your boss fires you and then he gets fired? He don't have a job because his department just got gone. It just got taken out. You're pretty valuable at that point. So yeah, he was a county employee for like over 30 years, my dad. And yeah, like I said, I used to consult to the county programs and do the inspection write-ups. I know what I'm talking about. Trust me. And yeah, I told you the story. I was supposed to get a county position. I was the most qualified person by a long shot. There wasn't even anybody close. And I'm not saying that because I wasn't. I've been doing it since I was like 12 years old. And so yeah, they gave the job to an ex-mayor of a town that's like 3 towns over, because he needed a job. He's still there. He still don't have a clue. Jack, I know him, and again, I still know all the contractors and everybody. They tell me great stories. Jack's still messing up, guys. This is like over a decade ago. Jack still don't know what he's doing. He still don't know jack shit. It's crazy. I mean, it's nuts. And so yeah, it's pretty crazy what goes on in government. I witnessed it growing up. I witnessed elections. I witnessed a lot of stuff, guys. That's why I get involved in these things, because how better to know about what goes on than just to jump in and figure it out. So I always say that Benny Johnson uncovered $100 million in fraud in one day in California, and that's low for Cal. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And so yeah, I think Nick Shirley was just in California recently too, so I'm sure he's uncovering things. But there you go, guys. That's our little wrap for this morning. I would say our market, we're just waiting for an hour from now. That jobs report comes out. Job jitters. There you go. That's what it says right there. And that's exactly what it looks like. So futures inch higher as traders await key jobs data and brace for a busy earnings slate right there. So that is what the market looks like. Crypto's getting beat up some more right there. Bitcoin's back at 67. It was in the 66. And that is what the market looks like for you guys. So you guys be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and thanks for tuning in there. Central Florida Gardening and Luis Rodriguez and everybody else hanging out. Joseph Levy, hope you're feeling better. Robin driving to work. Doge Mom and 9. Hope you're trading them penny stock smart. And I know Laptop Travel just had a lot going on in the next week or so. So I know he hasn't been on all the shows, but he's hanging around. He'll probably listen to the replay when he gets off. It's like the middle of the night there. And so, yeah, I'll see Laptop Travel shortly. He might have been on at 4 a.m. and probably passed back out. I don't blame him, to be honest with you. So there you go, everyone. So, yeah, be sure to trade smart, lock in those profits. I'll keep you guys posted in the Discord, and obviously follow along and hit the like button. So goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everybody.